It's important to build a .NET project using your code style, but can Claude Code actually follow it? To get Claude Code to follow your structure, you need to give it a file with all the details. Now I've asked it to read a file called spec.md, and I'm going to get it to create a currency converter. This is spec.md, and it's essential that you create this file so Claude Code has a better understanding of how you want the project structured. Things that you'll need to include are the .NET and C# versions. You'll also need to specify what architecture you want to use and what projects you want Claude Code to create. For each of those projects, you need to give a bit of detail as to what you want included in it and what structure you want to use. You also need to specify what endpoints you want included and also the database layout. I'll show you how I created this file later in the video. During this process, Claude Code will often ask you for permission. This could be to create a file or to fetch content. The good thing about this is that you're in full control as to what Claude Code can do. However, creating a project can be very time consuming, so you might want to turn this off, and I'll show you later how you can do that. We're just about to show you the project that Claude Code built, and hit the subscribe button if you like this content, as we're going to be doing many more videos on AI. Once Claude Code has finished creating your project, you'll want to open it up in Visual Studio and make sure that it builds properly. Assuming it does, you'll want to look around the code just to make sure that Claude Code has followed the structure that you wanted it to. So for example, I asked it to use clean architecture and it's created the projects there as well. And if you've got any unit tests, you'll want to run them as well, just to make sure that they all pass. If you're using a database, you need to specify how you want that structured. If you're using Entity Framework Core, it's best that you ask it not to generate the migrations, but to give instructions as to how you can add them. The reason being is that Claude Code struggled to add migrations in my experience. Instead, just ask it to install the NuGet packages so you can do it yourself. Once that's done, you can just add the migration to the project. Once that's done, open up App Settings and make sure that the connection string is correct. If it is, update the database. That should create the database for you as well as your database structure. After you've run the migrations, you can run the project and test out your endpoints. So I've got an endpoint that lists all the currencies, so that's returning successfully. I've also got a currency converter endpoint, and I want to convert $100 to British pounds. And that's returning £74. Earlier on, we showed you a spec file for Claude Code to follow. This is how we created it. What you'll want to do is you'll want to create a Word document like this, which details how you want the project structured. What you can do after that is you can open up the AI tool of your choice, upload the file, then ask it to check it for any discrepancies. The likelihood is that it'll have some feedback about your document which you'll want to add. You can then repeat the process. Once you're happy with the document, you can generate a markdown file through the AI tool and then add it to your project. If you want to see the markdown file that I used, as well as the project that Claude Code built, you can download the code, linked in the description. Now you might want to add a new feature to your .NET project. What you can do is you can ask Claude to generate a file which it will read every time it makes a change. In your spec file, you'll want to get it to generate a CLAUDE.md file once the project is created. Now this is a file that will live in the root of your project. All it does is it specifies how your project is structured, so when Claude Code makes a change, it will review this document and make any changes. When making a change, make sure you give Claude Code as much detail as you can so it gives you the result that you want. So I'm asking it to build an endpoint which will take a currency and list all the rates. So I've given some description as to how I want that structured, and also I've asked it to add unit tests. Once that's done, you can check that it's working by running the project and testing out the endpoint. Once it's made that change, it should update the Claude.md file and document any changes that it's made. So for me, it's added a new endpoint and the description as to what it does. Now it's not just Claude Code that can update this document, you can as well, and I encourage you to do that so this document is up to date for any changes that are made. Right, let's get into the setup. One script and you're ready to go. And yes, it works in Linux and Mac as well as Windows. And this is how you do it with macOS and Linux, but we're using Windows. And if you're wondering whether to use PowerShell or CMD, I don't think it really matters. We're going to use PowerShell. Now when you install it, if you get this message, you need to add the folder into the user path in your environment variables. So we go to path, we add a new one, and we just copy it in. Restart the terminal and it should work. At this point, I recommend that you change directory to the folder where your project is. To launch Claude, you just type Claude. It will go through some settings that you'll need to fill. You'll then need to log in with your account, or you can use API usage billing if you want. And once you're logged in, you can start using Claude in your project. But the question everyone has is, how much is this going to cost me? Well, let's have a look so there are no surprises. So these are the prices at time of recording, and everyone will at least need a Pro account. Now, if you're not sure which account you need to go for, if you're an individual developer and you haven't used Claude before, I would go with the Pro account. If you're going over the limits though, you can easily upgrade to the Max account. If you're a team or an enterprise, so you've got many developers working on it, then you've got a couple of different options there. Earlier on in the video, I mentioned to you that you can override the permissions so Claude Code doesn't keep prompting you, and here's how you do that. The Claude Code documentation will give you all the different modes that you can use. To use it, you open up a terminal window and then you run Claude followed by the permission mode parameter and whichever mode you want. If you want to override all permissions, you can use the dangerously skip permissions parameter. Just be aware though, if you're going to use this, you're giving full control to Claude. So far, we've only been using Claude Code in the console, which is fine, but let's be honest, we don't want to be switching back and forth all day. Let's bring Claude Code into your IDE. At time of recording, Visual Studio doesn't have an official extension for Claude Code, but it does have this really good unofficial one, so we can install it by going into Visual Studio, we go to Extensions, Manage Extensions, we do a search for Claude Code, and then we install it. You'll then need to restart Visual Studio so it can install it. Once that's done, you go to View, Other Windows, and you should see the Claude Code extension. Add your prompt at the top, and you can use it like the console. So that's the Visual Studio extension, but if Visual Studio Code is your preferred editor, you haven't been forgotten. There's actually an official Claude Code extension for Visual Studio Code. And here's a screenshot of how it looks, so when you install the extension, you can run it alongside your project, making it easier to use. A lot of you are using AI to ask your .NET and C# questions, but you're getting frustrated that it's not giving you the answers that you want. Well, I've developed an AI tool which you can view at roundthecode.com/AI or via the link in the description. And if you want to continue learning about AI in .NET and how you can use it in your projects, watch this video next. I'll see you over there.